Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. They finally got to it. I didn't expect it to be so bluntly explained, or at least stated. The NATO defensive alliance will, or probably, or at least they're talking about sending troops into Ukraine. So they don't fight Russia, through a proxy war, using the Ukrainian territory, using Ukrainian manpower and sending their weapons and telling them what to do. No, they really want to get involved in it. My assessment or my gut feeling tells me that they are already there under different euphemisms like peacekeeping forces, love-making dudes, universal perfect states, something like this, like demining troops or controllers, inspectors, military advisors, all these euphemisms, they they can hide behind it, including all these volunteer troops that they have, the international volunteering, blah blah blah, and many more. Like the Poles have the Polish army, not Polish army, Polish volunteers. They have their own volunteering troops over there, but you don't know if they have ranks or not before they enter Ukraine. And right now, who else but Viktor Orban, the prime minister, the courageous prime minister of Hungary. I admire the guy because he's trying to be independent and keep his country, his nation, Hungarian. That's what he says. I mean, I was voted in office by Hungarians, not by Belgians or French or whatever, which he's right. And Hungary has its own culture, it has its own traditions, own style, own genes, all these things. Not genes. So let's see what Orban says about NATO possibly sending troops. And they're already talking about this. I didn't expect them to talk about it so, I thought they're going to start, which I think they are already involved. So let's get going and see what Orban says. This article comes from Sputnik from today, an hour ago, from March 11th, 2023. Sending NATO troops to Ukraine could have world-ending consequences, US politician warns. So we have here Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban warned on Friday that Western leaders appear very close to suggesting in all seriousness that NATO troops be sent to Ukraine. Orban's comment come amid growing concerns in Washington that the alliance's Ukrainian client state is losing in the proxy conflict against Russia. Any Western officials seriously considering deploying NATO military personnel to Ukraine should rethink the, and I'm quoting, insane idea before plunging the planet into a nuclear war. Kentucky progressive Democrat Geoffrey M. Young has urged. A Democrat? It's unbelievable. And I'm quoting, if these Western countries better think again about doing anything like that, then they'd better think again and again. It's insane. It could lead to the destruction by Russia of any country that sends troops, or it could lead to a nuclear war that could kill everyone on Earth. End quote. Young, a candidate in the Democratic primaries in the upcoming Kentucky gubernatorial race, tweeted in response to a tweet addressing Orban's warning. So he is a candidate. Very good, very good. Gotta keep an eye on you. But these guys are saying one thing, and then when they get elected, they say what these guys say. The military-industrial complex and the intelligence community, banks, and energy companies. Whoever pays. Now, Young, 66, a self-described peace Democrat, has been one of the few politicians in the contemporary Democratic Party to criticize the US and NATO's continuous sponsorship of the conflict in Ukraine, has criticized the US occupation of Syria, and has demanded Secretary of State Lloyd Austin's resignation for his recent threats against Iran. Well, you can't fire your boss, can you? The politician ran as a Democratic Party's candidate for a seat in the House of Representatives in November 2022 midterms, but was defeated by incumbent Republican Andy Barr. That's why he's trying to appeal to the Republicans by saying what he says. Because the Republicans, some of them, say that. And Kentucky has two very intelligent, one senator and the other one is not a senator, because we got the idiot, what's his name? McConnell, I think he's from Kentucky, and he's Jesus Christ. But we got Rand Paul, fantastic. So, since then, he has repeatedly attacked Barr for voting to send weapons to, I'm quoting, Nazis in Ukraine for the last 9 years, end quote. You have no chance in this environment, my friends, unless things change drastically here in the United States of America. Earlier this year, Young said President Joe Biden deserves to be, and I'm quoting, impeached immediately for war crimes in Ukraine, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, etc. And I'm quoting again, for continuing the illegal proxy war against Russia in Ukraine. End quote. In mid-2022 midterms, his platform focused on slashing the U.S. military's budget, abolishing the CIA, and taking big money out of politics by publicly financing elections. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing to abolish the CIA. I think this has to be much more reduced and very well monitored. It has its good use, but it became way too influential, way too big, way too secretive for all of us, and that's not a good thing. And take money out of politics by publicly financing an election. I totally agree with that. Do like the Japanese do, and they do something fantastic. Just look into their election systems, and you're gonna find out things are how they like it here, more ethical, and they are. You have access to the TV over there, to the stations in a rotation basis. So you don't show I show up at 9 p.m. always, and you show up at 6 a.m. or 12 a.m. Nobody gives up about you, because nobody sees you at 12 p.m. or 1 p.m., but everybody sees me at 9 p.m. prime time, you know what I mean? So they do by rotation. And they have a cap, I think, on finance, how much the weasel politicians can have. But on the other hand, look what they got. They got Kishida, and Kishida has 21% approval rating. Last time I checked, 21%. How can you lead with 21% in a democracy? You're not supposed to, are you? No, you're not supposed to. Because the democracy is the will of the people, of the majority. So if you have 22 or 21, I think 21 or 20, I think 21, in the name of whom who do you represent? The 21%? You know who he represents across the Pacific interest. Okay, let's see what the politician has been attacked as a, of course, quote-unquote, Putin apologist online, and largely ignored by or smeared by the Democratic Party machine and by the large legacy media. Kentucky Democrats and Republicans will go to the polls. Okay, pretty soon. The U.S. Oh, here's the guy? Okay, here's the guy? No, this is another weasel. So let's see the last part here. The officials and media have expressed growing concern over the state of Ukrainian crisis in recent weeks, with a former ambassador to Russia and color revolutionist expert, Michael McFall, warning on Thursday that he was growing increasingly nervous about the Ukrainians' ability to hold on militarily and keep the U.S. engaged in the long haul diplomatically. McFall warned that Washington's reputation among allies and neutral countries would be shattered if Kiev lost, and urged the U.S. and its allies to send Ukraine all the weapons it has requested, from long-range missiles to fighter jets and Reaper drones, and to ignore Moscow's warning that this could escalate the current crisis into a global war. Why would you ignore it? Because the Russians don't have the ability? They don't have the capability, they don't have the ability, they don't have the will, they don't have the what? The balls. What do they miss to do that? And remember, that this guy dares to say that publicly, and probably he considers Putin crazy. So how can you consider a person mad no, crazy, but say, well, you ignore them. They're not gonna use it or something. Why wouldn't they use it? I mean, if you're crazy, you're using it. If you're not crazy, you're not using it. So again, a big dissonance here. Putin is either a crazy madman, irrational, as he was portrayed for the past 1 year and a half or so, and all of a sudden, oh no, they're not going to use. Don't worry. Really? It's like you say, well, that's a mad dog. It's a dog, that is crazy, and is just going to be biting you and all that. And oh no, go and touch it. It's not going to bite you. It's okay. Be around the dog. Really? How is that possible? Well, I think these guys are in contact and they know, don't do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. No, don't do this. I think they communicate and they set their boundaries. That's why when these guys are saying this is a total war or all war, no, it's not. I don't think it is. I mean, there are too many rules and regulations. Oh, you can't hit that. No, okay, you will not do this. Oh, you'll do this. Okay, I'm going to do this. I mean, all these things, if the Russians really, really are or were, the way these guys say that they are, like crazy and animals and all that, then they would have finished this in the first, month if they saw that things are starting to, these guys jump all 50 against me. Okay, then I will use this little button here and then see what's next. And I guarantee you everybody will be on standby like, oops, time out, stop. Do you think that if the Russians use, let's say, nuclear weapons in whatever they use, do you think that anybody else will use nuclear weapons against Russia? I guarantee you they will not. I guarantee you, 98%, I guarantee you that they will not. And I can tell you why. They don't want to end their lives. Why would they? I mean, a poor guy or an old guy like Biden, they don't really care if everything goes to hell. I mean, they live their life and the other one is like, my life sucks. So I don't care, man, do whatever you want. But someone who flies high, and rides a carousel here, let's put it this way, has his family wealthy, has the position, his bloodline going forever, blah, blah, blah. Why would that person want to do that? Destroy everything that his family and him worked for? They will not do that. And this is the elites. Why do you think the president of a, let's say, corporation or a bank, or they would want to, okay, now let's go and all, we're going to die, we're going to attack Russia and Russia is going to attack us back, things like that. Someone who doesn't have anything else to lose, nothing to lose, one first thing, and the other one is if you're really sick, terminally ill, old or mad, crazy. And they said Putin is crazy, so Putin could do that. We'll see. We'll see how long the Russians will have patience, and how long the Western countries will be able to screw their population with aid, the inflation, unemployment, and taxes will screw them. So we'll see. This is going to happen. It's not going to be a military victory. It's going to be, one of these countries have to crack economically and socially, not militarily. They will have weapons forever. They will build them. They're going to decrease. It's going to see how our lifestyles will decrease and will go worse. We'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.